We're doing a series called Modern Family, and I think one of the greatest obstacles in the modern family is our time. How many of you guys have lost someone close to you? What's the one thing, man, when you lose that someone that's close to you, what's that one thing that we all wish? You never hear anybody at a funeral going, man, I wish I had more money. I wish I had more money. Maybe at a Catholic funeral, I don't know. They put in the casket with it, like you get to take it with you or something. I don't know. What I hear, though, and what I feel and what I sense is, man, I wish I had more time. We say this all the time, like, if I had only known. If I'd known it was going to be this short, I would have made more of my time. Time is something that we can't make more of, something that when we lose it or waste it, we can't get it back. And I think so many times we get in this life and in this environment and we get busy and we lose time. My daughter just graduated last year, and this is her first semester off at college, and I look at it and man, she was just a little girl the other day. And now she's gone and I can't get that time back. And I feel like I spent a lot of time with her. Sometimes when me and Justice, I think we spent too much time together. But man, I cherish those times now. And I think the older I get, the more I look around and see, there's just not enough time. If I only had more time. And so I think, and I'm going to say this, and I always hear, don't always say always and never. But I think the most important part of family is time. I do. I think it's the most important part of family. You can't say that you love me if you don't want to be around me. You can't say you love me if you don't want to talk to me. You can't say you love me if you are got other things going on. Your priorities in your life determine what you value the most. And I think a lot of times in our world today, man, our time gets put on the back burner, doesn't it? We get busy doing this or busy doing that or just tired or whatever it is. We go too much or we got too much scheduled or whatever. And we look around and we have lost the most important, the most valuable thing that we can never get back. Our time. When we look at our time, man, we look and we go, why did I waste all that time being angry? Why did I waste all that time fighting? Why did I waste all that time giving them the silent treatment? Why did I waste all of that time trying to avoid them? Why did I waste all this time? And we look at this thing and we're like, man, I would give anything to go back. Why did I waste all this time living in unforgiveness? Because it's like when we get to the point where time becomes this major reality to us, which is usually in a bad circumstance, right? Because when things are going good, who cares? I mean, honestly, if things are going good, we don't care about much. But when things get pressed and things get broken and things get hurt and things come to a different conclusion, then we look back and we go, why? I don't even remember what I was mad about. I don't even remember what we fought about. I don't remember all this. And so we look around and we've like, God, man, I have regrets, And everybody does. I mean, you're sitting there maybe thinking, well, he's talking to me. I'm not talking to you. Look, I hear that every service too, man. There will be 5 people say, you were talking to me. Well, I'm not. I'm talking to me. Because we all do things and say things and go through things that is a waste. And I don't want us to waste it anymore. I want us to value the one thing we can never get back, and that's our time. So as we start to look at our time we get to spend with these people that we love and we care about, and this life that we have that's so short, like, man, it gets short, don't it? The older you get, the shorter it gets. Anybody like, it starts flying. You're like, wait a second. I think it's because we wish when we're young and we get what we wish for later. Like, we're in junior high, we wish it'd hurry up and get to high school. We get to high school, we wish it'd hurry up and get to college. And then all of a sudden, man, it's just crawling. And then you turn 40 and it's gone. Like, it's flying, right? And you finally get what you wish for and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Now the years are just ticking. Yesterday I turned 30, now I turned 40, now I'm 40. And it's like, whoa, auctioneer of time, slow down. I want us to look around at our lives and see, what do we value? Because if time is our most valuable asset, we need to put it into the things that we value the most. Now, there's some givens, and I understand that. Guys, you need to work, okay? I know a lot of you are like, yeah, Todd said we need more time, so I just quit my job. It's not good. One thing, man, your family can't stand you that long. Like, you have to have a break. So, like, they need 8 hours a day of you being away. Everybody does. We got to work, man. We got to work. But then we need to structure our lives in a way that we decide where our assets go. Right? The first thing that I would encourage you to do is look at your priorities. And I know we talk about priorities around here all the time, but what are the priorities of your life? When you sit back and look, what is important to you? What is important to you? It may be like you may have this idea, okay, family is important. But maybe as a family you decided that the big house is important to you, okay? Well, you have to then decide, okay, now I'm going to have to work this many more hours. So then you have to weigh out which one's more important, working these hours, working 2 jobs or 3 jobs and have this or have that. And so you have to balance everything out, right? And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. It's what you decide, what your family decides. But I'm telling you this. Houses and cars and stuff, they come and go. I would encourage you to invest in people, the people that are closest to you. So we establish our priorities. And then I would suggest that the next thing you do, I would suggest that you schedule. Here's why. Because we all live by schedules. And a lot of you are like me, like, I've never had a schedule. I don't even know what a schedule is. I wouldn't know how to have a schedule. But that's not true. Because you get up in the morning and you ask your wife, what are we doing today? And she tells you all the things on the list, right? Where the kids have to be, what's going on, all these things, right? So we all live by our schedule. Some of us have it written down and organized, and others of us are being told what ours is. And that's pretty much the way that works, right? And it's probably, I would say in this room, it's probably half and half. Now, if nobody in your house has a schedule, then there may be some other issues you need to work on. Somebody needs to figure out what's going on and get in charge, okay? But as we look at that, I think we need to schedule and by our priorities. The reason I say that is because if we don't determine our schedule, the school will. The Little League will. This event, that event, everything else will determine your schedule. If you don't prioritize and determine this is important, this is off limits, then everything else will get in the way of that. Now, me and Celia, we did this years and years ago, and I think in many ways it saved our marriage, but every Friday night is date night. Our kids know it, our families know it, everybody, you guys all know it. Right? You know when our date night, every Friday night is date night. It's scheduled. That is my and her time. And sometimes we just don't do anything. Sometimes we just gaze at each other in majesty. No, she does. No, we spend time together. You know what is important, and maybe even more important, is that when you are angry and mad at each other, we still have date night. We've gone on dates, driven to Dallas, had dinner, went to a movie, and drove home and never spoke. But we were together. We were together, and I think I got my point across. No, that's not good either. It wasn't good, but the thing is, the time is a priority. In my marriage, for my marriage to work and for Celia to know that I love her, time has to be a priority. We've talked in marriage series many times about our love languages. And for a lot of people, number 1 or 2 or 3 is quality time. Like if you don't spend quality time with me, you're telling me you do not love me, you do not care about me. And so to just avoid or to schedule or to not consider the time, then I see that as a not just not loving me, but not even liking me or caring about me either way. Just not even wanting to be around. So like that is a language that we sense deep in us. Like this is how we know if we're loved or not by how much time we spend together. You know, it's true though, isn't it? Like we say we love God, but do we really? Like, how much time do we actually give? How much time do we spend? You can't say you love God if you're not going to talk to Him and you're not going to spend time with Him. And I can't say I love my wife if I don't want to be around her. And I can't say I love my kids. Me and Ella have what we call it Ella night. And we have this night where when we get home from school, we make chocolate chip cookies. And that's what she likes to do. We like to make chocolate chip cookies, and we like to eat them. And when we get home, we do homework, and we make chocolate chip cookies, and we sit together, and we watch Disney Channel. And it's the same shows. Not the same titled show, the same show. Every day. If you got a kid that watches Disney Channel, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a repeat. They only made 2 shows on Disney. That's the whole season. They just show them over and over. But we spend time and we talk, and I ask her questions about her day and about what's going on with her and about, her life and things, and we talk and we share that time. It's not like, go watch TV, I'm going to go do my thing. It's we share time together. And I make that is a priority in my life, is to spend time with my kids. It's a priority in my life to spend time with my wife. We schedule those times. And if you don't spend time together, you're really missing out on a lot of things, guys. Your kids, man, they want to spend time with you. So what I would suggest doing is I would suggest putting something on the schedule, making a time. This is family night. I know some people have family game night, or some people like family bowling night or family whatever night. It's good to do those things. It's good to find something that you do together as a family. It's good to, like, if you have a night where you watch TV together, don't just stare though, man. Talk to each other, share life together. Here's something else I would suggest. How many of you guys have at least, and I want you to raise your hand, how many of you guys have at least 3 meals a week together, the entire family at the table? Wow, that's a lot more than I thought. It's good to share meals together. I think when you look through the Bible, man, some of the most important talks Jesus had in listening to and hearing his disciples and his followers and sharing with them, they were over a meal. The meal isn't about the food, trust me. You can have manna. Right? Manna means, what is it? You can have manna for a meal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It don't matter how burned it is. It don't matter how bad it smells. The point is that we share the meal together. I would encourage you to schedule meals together. As many as you can schedule. This night we're eating together. This meal we're eating together. Saturday mornings at breakfast are a big deal at our house. We make a lot of breakfast. It's horrible too. It's not good. But it's, you know, it's what we do. That's a good time to have these meals. I think sharing, as we share these meals, me and Ella eat breakfast together every morning. We made it a point. Every morning before school, we get up and we eat breakfast together. And like, it's good because that's when she's like, we get to talk about what is going on in her day and, you know, all these things. And it's not, have you ever noticed that the only time you're talking to your kids when you're yelling at them? When you're griping, when you're correcting, well, if you're eating breakfast together or you're eating dinner together or you have those nights, man, you don't have to, that's not the only time you're with them. And so it helps. Having these times together help. These quality times are so important in our lives, man, and your kids want this. They won't say this. You guys that are in high school, I'll go ahead and tell your parents for you because I know it's not cool. But even your high school kids, they want to spend time with you. They do want to. Yeah, you do. They want to. They want to be around you. They want to spend time with you. Now, they want their freedom and they want to break loose and they don't want to spend that much time with you. But they do want to spend time with you. So you have to set these priorities. Guys, there's nothing wrong with a busy schedule. You can have a busy schedule. Make sure, though, that schedule is together. Maybe baseball or cheerleading or Little League, whatever, is your thing. And that's the thing your family does. That's cool. Do it together. Because if the kids are here and the mom's there and dad's over here, you're not having family time. And the thing is, all of this stuff, all of those things that seem important when they're starting to come in, they're not important. I read a book a couple of years ago. It was by Kerry Shook, who pastors a church down in the Woodlands, and he wrote a book called 30 Days to Live. And he had this theory that if we would live our lives as if we had 30 days to live, we would live different. Our priorities would be different. The way we think would be different. The way we treat our wives and the way we treat our kids would be different. And I think if we start to look at that, how important are these things that we have in our lives in the big picture, in the long run? Your kids are growing up. They're leaving you. They're growing up. Time passes. Our marriages, our kids, our parents. My parents are old. And they're getting older. And like, I value the time I get to spend with my parents. How many of you guys lost a parent? Do you wish you had more time to spend with them? You know, we get busy, but I like spending time with my parents. I do. And the older I get, the more I value that time because that's part of our family. And so as we start to move on and we start to look at this way this family works, maybe we need to stop. And maybe we need to take some inventory. Maybe we need to take some time and look and say, you know, I've wasted a lot. But that's in the past and I can't do anything about it. But today, it's going to be different. Today, my wife becomes my priority. She gets my time. And after my wife, my kids get my time. And after that, my job or my whatever you do, get your time. Man, let's face it. You guys aren't going to be golf pros, okay? Just face it. And if you are, I never saw you on TV, so get over it. And we look how much time we spend doing things like playing golf or whatever. It could be anything, hunting, fishing, whatever. And sometimes your wife wants you to go. I mean, I'll be honest. She's like, is hunting season here yet? You know, I understand that. I don't hunt. I'm just in my wife's business all the time, year round. She wish I would. She's like, do you got any hobbies? Could you do something, please? Don't you want to go play golf? I'm like, oh, she's thinking of me. No, she's not. No, she's not. But when we look at it, man, we're not gonna. These things, I mean, is killing that animal, or playing that round of golf or whatever. Is that going to matter in the long run? Or is there some times that we just need to spend with our families, with our kids, like quality time? So many times today we got our kids and we try to occupy them so they will just leave us alone. Right? Yes. Yes, we do. And I understand. But man, someday they're going to college. And someday they're going to get married, and someday they're going to move off. Far off. Like way off. No, someday they're going to be on their own. And we're going to look back and go, man, I missed so much. But what if we made those changes today and we look back and go, man, I didn't waste a minute. Like, we took this life for all it had to offer and we lived it together. And we didn't waste a minute with each other. We made it count. And that's what we really want, isn't it? We want our lives to count. We want things that matter to count, don't we? So I think what God wants to tell us today is to stop and look at what you have around you and make the most out of it. Live, man. Live. Live to the fullest. Don't waste a minute. Bad things happen. Things go wrong. Relationships break down. I get it. I understand that. But can't we always learn? I mean, my attitude is I fail more than I succeed. And my attitude is that those failures are always learning experiences. They're just practice. And someday I'm going to get it right. I keep thinking, someday I'm going to get it right. We can get it right. I want you to know you can get this right. We can do this, right? We can share our lives with those who matter. Maybe you're single. Bless you. Now, maybe you're single. There's still significant people in your life. Make sure they know they matter. Care for them. Spend time with the people who matter to you. And when we do that, man, we're going to start to move into what the rhythms of the kingdom of heaven are like. The kingdom of heaven, man, it's about relationship and caring and sharing in life together. That's why they call the church a family in the Bible. Maybe you're single, maybe you're married, maybe you wish you weren't and are, maybe, whatever it is. We got this. Don't miss this time. Man, I look forward to seeing you guys. I know a lot of you guys, man, you come like once a month and you're like, I did my duty. Man, don't do your, we like to see you. We like to share life together. It's important. It's important for the people that we care about to know that we care by the time we spend with them. You guys stand with me and I want to pray for you.